All right, shout out to Trap University. When your whole life is on the internet, that is kind of something. Let's see what he's talking about.
Mr. Beast turns 28 on May 7th, 2026. And
Damn, Mr. Beast is 28, or is turning 28. Damn.
the first video uploaded on his channel is from February 20th, 2012,
Okay.
which at the time of my recording was 14 years ago. And
Mm,
this video was uploaded a few months before his 14th birthday,
okay.
meaning that by next year, Jimmy will have officially been a YouTuber for longer than he wasn't. And there's really
Right.
no easy way to word this, but what I'm saying is by next year, technically, he can say that he's been a YouTuber for more than half the time that he's been alive. That's
Wow.
insane. But I guess it's kind of like how LeBron has been in the NBA for 20 years, despite the fact that he was still under 20 when he got drafted. But this must be a weird experience, having a huge portion of your life on the internet. But there's
Right.
different levels to it. Like you
Yeah.
have Neon, who's been on YouTube since he was 12 because he started about 10 years ago, which means that he's been a content creator for about 54% of the time he's been alive.
That is kind of crazy. That is exactly the reason why I don't really want to end up like in this way. Like I want to put my whole life on the internet. It's just like, bro, that is kind of crazy. And it's like, what are when you really sit there and think about it, right? What can you really? What are some lessons or some if these people were to have kids and stuff? What are some things that can you could really bestow to your kids? Like, what are some memories you could really bestow to them? Like, they ever asked you, if your kids ever asked you, hey dad, hey mom, like, hey mom, hey dad, like, what y'all did when you guys were like 12 years old, or what you guys do when you guys were my age, or we just did YouTube videos. That's it. Y'all don't got no stories or anything to. They gonna be like, "Oh, that's it. That's all you were doing. Just YouTube videos. Just streaming. You don't got like an interesting story like, oh, I went to this or I went to that and I did this. I mean, maybe that's gonna be their story. Like, oh, I remember I did a stream about this, like, which is all right, but it's like that's it. That's half of your life. Half of your life is just streaming.
Alright, before we start this video, I just want to say I'm sorry I haven't been uploading too much. Just been focusing on school a little
That's
bit.
Neon.
But then, on a whole other
That's Neon. That's his voice. Damn. That's something.
level, you have Farhan from the royalty family. And even if you're not 11, you've probably still seen or heard of this channel because it's
I've never
huge,
heard of
but
this.
the kid is 15, okay? And right now, a lot of the content seems to revolve around, I guess, puberty? Like, will my mom like my new girlfriend? I crashed my mom's car. Anyway, you get it. First day of high school, I found my long lost dad.
What? This is. Wait, what? Uh, What? What is going? Okay, let me
I'm
just
sorry, I'm not
continue
trying to
going.
laugh at that one, but damn, bro, look at this AI thumbnail expression. How can I
That.
look at this and take it as a serious moment? He
Yeah.
actually did the face. I guess this video was just like a prank that he was pulling on his stepdad, but he's gonna grow up one day, and I can't imagine going on YouTube right now and seeing my 15-year-old self with my girlfriend from what, freshman year of high school? Anyway, he first appeared on the channel in 2017, and he was
Mm.
born in 2010. So that's 46% of his life so far that he's been on his mom's family channel. And while
What?
technically, since Farhan started at age 7, his percent is lower than Neon, but by the time he is Neon's age, assuming that the channel is still going when he's off in college or something, that'll be almost 70% of the time he's been alive spent on YouTube. Just imagine that, because let's be real, you remember way more of your childhood
Right.
after 7 than
Yeah.
before. So that's
Right.
basically his entire childhood and now early teenage years captured online forever.
What?
12 billion views. I don't think any of us could imagine our childhood being seen 12 billion times. Now I
Right.
know it's not really his childhood because these videos could be scripted, but it just reminds me of Josh Peck kind of implying that he was embarrassed with the fact that his awkward teenage years are forever on the internet from old episodes of Drake and Josh.
Yeah, it's like it's just like, bro, we're these are like kids, man. Like we and I'm talking like I'm an old head, bro. I'm fucking only 24 years old. So it's like whatever. But these are just fucking kids, bro. Like, I don't even know how to even explain it. Like, and it's like, so it's so weird to see, like, it's so weird that to even see this. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird to see this. Cause it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just weird. It's just like just think about it, your whole teenage life was on YouTube. I don't even know. I don't know. I think that it's kind of crazy in my opinion, but hey, shit, some people just don't give a fuck, bro. Some people, you know, probably they're just not thinking about it right now. And I think that's really what it is. A lot of people are just not thinking about it right now.
But I would argue that this is a bit different because a
Right.
YouTube video is a bit more accessible than an episode of a TV show from 20 years ago. And I just wonder what the effect is on people who have essentially their entire life on the internet. And
Hmm.
every experience is unique. Like Farhan and Mr. Beast probably don't have the same experience with this as someone like PewDiePie. Because despite the fact that he's been on YouTube for 15 years now, he was around 21 when he started. So he went
Mm.
through his entire childhood and teenage years without anyone knowing who he was because he was in college by the time he took YouTube serious. But a guy that
Mm.
convinces me of one of the effects is Neon. And that's the pressure being too much for a kid's brain. Because in case you don't know, when Neon was like 15, he faked his death for views. And while this might just look like a
What?
guy who was always willing to do
I
anything
remember
for
that one
views,
though.
it's important to look at it from a different angle. Like he was already trying to blow up on YouTube as a middle schooler. So already his mind was on a different level than the
Right.
average 12-year-old. Because when I was 12, I thought it would be really cool to be famous and make money being a full-time entertainer. And even though I would watch YouTube every day, it never crossed my mind as a 12-year-old to make a YouTube video. And it's not even like
Yeah, it's true. When I was 12, I didn't even think, bro, 12, I was just thinking about like going home, playing the game, eating some pizza rolls, and that's about it. Like, I didn't even think about I didn't even think about none of this shit. It's crazy.
I was overthinking it. I just wasn't thinking about it at all. But some kids, like Neon and Speed, had this
Speed.
goal and actually went after it with full dedication, which is crazy because I could
Yeah.
barely dedicate myself to be a C student at that age. But when he
Yep.
faked his death,
Yep.
I think Neon had hit a point where he was making content for a few years and he just wasn't where he wanted to be, and he probably couldn't
Interesting.
figure out why. And I
Uh-huh.
understand that because as a teenager, I definitely had times where I felt like I
Yeah.
should have been more ahead at something than I actually was, which in hindsight, I was a kid, but in my
Right.
mind, at 15, I was almost an adult. And I felt
Right.
kind of like those red pill kids where I was thinking, why don't I have $100,000 yet? Like, just go to school, bro. But anyway, the pressure. Just imagine you spent all this time grinding as a kid. You're not thinking about going to college. I remember
Right.
when I was trying to figure out how to get my family out the hood in high school, I started ditching school every day because I thought that my goal was more important than school. But I didn't
Right.
even have a real plan. I was just
Right.
ditching school. But with all the
Right.
stupid decisions I made then, I can only imagine if I had tasted a tiny bit of success during that time, because I probably
Mm.
would have felt even more pressure. But this isn't groundbreaking information. The internet can do strange things to a developing brain. Like, for instance, Jack Doherty. People dislike him so much at this point that it's hard to even remember where it started. But he didn't fall off, at least that much. He's still big on kick, which helps him get clipped, which
Right.
contributes to him not falling off.
It's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
how like he's right too. Like when I was it's like, bro, when I was 12, bro, I wasn't even, bro, I was just thinking about like, yo, like I wasn't thinking about the money, but it was just more of like we were on survival mode, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I don't even know how to even explain it, but it was just more like, like it's just when you're 12, you're not thinking about all of this shit. And it's like kind of crazy to even see that, but it's like, man.
Yeah, and I guess the 360 OF contracts that these girls keep signing with him also helps because I guess it beats working for minimum wage. But what he is today is the result of 10 years of mastering social media, or at the
Hmm.
very least, mastering how
Interesting.
to capitalize and make a lot of money, no matter the cost.
Right.
Because remember, it all started here with Jack flipping cups in 2016. So how do we
Really?
get from this to gambling sponsorships, being a public nuisance, and profiting off adult content? Well,
Really?
in my opinion, part of it has to be the fact that he's been famous and probably felt the pressure to become more famous since
Hmm.
before he could grow facial hair. I mean, he still doesn't have facial hair, but at his age he probably should. But anyway, it's also a clear sign that he was thinking on a different level at a young age. Like, it's not like the royalty family situation with Farhan, where he just happened to be there when his mom created a channel, because she was already on that level, as I've even read that she was making content in Colombia before he was born. But Jack
Content. Oh, content. Yeah. Yes.
being 13 and fully grasping what it was to be a YouTuber by 14 is a lot. Like, on one hand, I want to say it was mature because I couldn't do it at his age. I couldn't really focus on anything. But then on the other hand, as a 13-year-old, I feel like it also kind of stunted his growth because when
Yeah.
something becomes your job, you of course are going to look at ways to improve, especially if you generate a lot of money doing it.
And that's the sad part about it is a lot of them see it as a job now. It's not really a an enjoyment or whatever it is. A lot of them have to keep doing what they gotta do to make more views. And so like the last stream can't be it can't be that. It just can't be it needs you need a higher high, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you smoke or drink and do all that, you need a higher high, bro. And so it kind of sucks that like, you know, I think in the beginning it used to be like this is a hobby that I liked or whatever, and then it evolved to okay, this is a job, and I gotta take this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because that's your whole childhood. Your whole childhood, you are forced to grow up. You are forced to like technically just start doing something like this, where it's like you're working a job and shit. This is their 9 to 5 in a way. I'm telling y'all right now, this is a 9 to 5.
And just off his YouTube alone as a child, I can tell you that he was making a lot. Because just doing 2 million views in a month can earn you anywhere from $7,000 to $20,000, depending on your channel. And 2 million views in a month is really not that much when you think about a really big YouTube channel, or even a medium-sized YouTube channel. But at his peak on YouTube, he was doing 10 million views per video.
Wow.
And this was before he started streaming, so once he started doing both and understanding the importance of clips, he clearly just started focusing on staying viral, which
Yep.
might seem like it's something that you have to do, but if you have a following, you definitely can still earn a living without really going viral. But I
Yeah.
imagine being used to a certain lifestyle since like 8th grade, you as a high schooler would do anything to keep that going, especially after 18 when the
Right.
bills really start to hit. But he didn't
Yep.
really start making the type of content that gave him his current reputation until he was an adult. And just based on him being who he is, I don't think he's embarrassed about part of his childhood being on YouTube because
don't care.
it looks like he accomplished everything he was trying to do. But I can't help but feel that now he has a warped view of the world because of it. Like, he does things that people dislike him for, and we can say he does it for views, but that also means that he has no problem harassing people or just genuinely treating every human he came into contact with like content because, well, they were. And I'm sure he doesn't feel like he's taking advantage of these girls
Right.
because they're only around him in the first place to leech off him. But none of this can be healthy. He started as a naive kid that grew up into a clout goblin, and now he lives in a house full of OF demons that pay him, and he still gets made fun of. Like, I wonder, who are his real friends?
That is crazy. That is a great question. Who are his real friends? I don't even think he even has any. I really don't think so. I think he just sees it as, hey, this is just content. And that's the crazy part, right? You would think that like a lot of these streamers, when they do collabs, you're doing collabs with somebody that you actually trust, that you actually are friends with in real life. Most of them people are just like, this is just content. Most of these streamers are just, hey, this is just content. This is whatever. We heard about that whole your race situation that's going on right now with what's her name? Uh Yana or whatever her name is. I think that light skinned lady. But hey, it's just content. I mean, shit happens, but like what you gonna do? It's just content. Why the fuck is my shit all the way like hold on, I had to move my shit. Okay, it's good now. Yeah, but it's just content. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's just content. Hold on, let me
Or does he even have any?
I
Oh
don't
yeah, and Jack's also been on the internet for about 40% of his total
I don't think
existence
so.
at this point. But regardless, I wanted to make a deep dive on family channels for some time, but I just didn't want to go too hard on them in this video because the family channels that were very bad for kids, we already know about those guys, and they're no longer platformed, at least some of them. I can't really speak for all the accounts on TikTok, but I guess it's possible that on some of these popular YouTube channels, it is an enjoyable experience for the kids and they're definitely set up for life. But family channels alone don't show the full scope of what I'm talking about. Because obviously, there are people who put themselves on the internet as children. And as a result, they come into adulthood with a significant portion of their life experience being intertwined with content creation. Which is very interesting to think about. YouTube has been around for a long time, like majority of my life. And it's crazy that before platforms like this, a kid had no chance of being a content creator. Right. Really, no one really had a chance of being a content creator.
No one had a chance of doing it. Now it's like everybody want to do it. Everybody want to do it. Shit, I'm cool with it. I ain't trying to be this. Hell no. I'm just trying to come in here, do what I gotta do for a little bit, and then focus on the real world out there and try to make my money in the real world, because this bitch could shut down anytime, any day, anywhere, you know? So dang.
Creator. You had to go to like auditions and try to get in a movie or a TV series and possibly have to deal with a creepy Hollywood producer. But I mean, clout is clout. And no matter how you get it, it'll change your life. And getting it too early seems pretty detrimental. Like, I'm glad that y'all never got to listen to me trying to drop some knowledge when I was 14. Because, wow, that'd be embarrassing. But I am seriously considering doing a deep dive on family channels, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about there. But that's all I got for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, shout out to Trap University. I really enjoyed that video. I hope that he does like a what you call it? I hope that he does a video on shit, my bad, y'all. I hope that he does a video on family channels, because I also think that family channels are kind of weird. Yeah. I don't know. I think family channels are kind of a little bit weird. I'm gonna be real with you, but honestly though, shit, like there is some crazy stuff that's on there, but hey, shit. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I was gonna say what I was gonna say about family channels, but I'm gonna save it for that video. I'm gonna save it for that video.